Time to farm some dubs. Crap, I got a squad on my right.
I'm running in for backup.
Yo, Ron, he's right there in front of you.
Sorry guys, it happened again.
Damn. This is the 10th one today.
Alright, I'm back.
Someone cover me.
Yeah, I see you. You got him, you got him, you got him! Yes! Yo, that's sweet.
Yeah, it is. We about to win this.
Guys, I can get used to this.
HyperX alloy. Built strong because it has to be.
And with that said, good evening ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to round number 5 in the 14th season of ORL. We are here back at China and it looks a bit overcast. I'm not sure what to expect from the race yet, but yeah, we'll see. We'll let us surprise. And yeah, we're here at China. I think most of the drivers hope for maybe a wet race or at least a bit of rain now and then, because they don't really like the track as it is in the dry conditions. And yeah, we'll see how that works out, but we have to wait until anybody gets out for the first qualifying lap. And there we go, there we see the first cars exiting the pit lane, and I think we can expect about a, well, 129th maybe for the beginning, and then we should drop down into the 128s for pole position, maybe even a low 128 if that's possible, but I think a mid 128 will already be enough to take pole position here. But let's see how that goes, how that turns out. And there we go with Alrox. I think a new driver for the B-split here. And the first guys are trying to do the first hot laps. I just realized I enabled the minimap instead of the full track map. And yeah, this is China. I hope everyone knows. It starts off with this little snaky section, quite hard to brake. Not hard, but it's quite difficult to get the braking exact right into the first turn. The second turn is basically just roll it in and get the exact point when to get back onto the pedal. Then a bit of a hairpin and a long left-hander, followed by a long right-hander, and then those two 90-degree corners, which you can take the second one at nearly full throttle if you get the line right. And then we've got this last section. Oh, we've got this beautiful buck again off the circuit, which comes before the long straight, and it's quite slippery here to really throw your car into the wall. I think we'll just switch to another car. Here we can see going down the main straight and then having the other hairpin, the real hairpin. Actually two corners, because of that little right kink there is counted as a corner, and then we've got the last corner where it's very easy to get way too wide. And there goes Brock starting off his first hot lap. Here it's very important you don't really use the brake that much. It's mostly just the engine brake that you use down here. And onto the second, you just roll it in and then it's full throttle. And well, you have to keep it, of course, inside the lines on the exit. Then into the second hairpin. It's a second gear corner. It's kind of a hairpin, as I said before, and through the long right-hander. If you got the line right, you can go full throttle through there. On the soft tire, that's not a problem. That will be a problem later on in the race on the medium or hard tires. Then this little right-hander and those two left-handers, as I said before. A little bit of a moment, but it shouldn't cost him too much time. And this exit is one of the most important of the whole track, because after this exit we can see the long straight coming up. Good look here, opening up the DRS, exactly. And we're bombing down the straight into the hairpin, braking down into second gear, of course, and coming back around here. Fifth gear for the last corner. There we go. Not invalidating your time there on the right hand side, and there goes for a 129.887. Still a bit to improve on. You can see Sheratalov and Nicholas set a bit quicker time, as well as Arox. And yeah, exactly. Only 129.1 at the moment, the quickest time. So my guess was right that we begin with the 129s, and well, hopefully ended off with some times into the 128s. We've got a bit slower times back here, a 30, even a 31.1. But I think also those guys will still improve on their times, and yeah, therefore just give them a minute and we'll see how this works out in the end. In the meantime, we can still enjoy qualifying and watching those guys bombing down the straights. Let's look at, for example, Sync Dylan, Dylan Dyslexic, his two teammates in the Ferrari. Invalidated his lap there, unfortunately. Let's see what Dyslexic can pull off. Also invalidated. Let's take a look at Gerbewan, who is actually just entering the straight. Opening DRS there. We'll see probably a lot of overtakes down here if you get the exit right. And maybe into T1. Or because of mistakes into T1. That's also something that will most likely happen. There we go. Perfectly getting the last corner done, but no. Well, kind of yes. He set the time in the end, but a very slow one. 1:31.6. So not even close to being a really, really good time. And yeah, I mean, we'll still have a lot to come in this qualifying. So half of the grid haven't even been out yet on the track, and that's basically what we're still waiting for. And yeah, so far everything's fine. We've got one disqualification. Ooh, what happened there? Let's take a look at the race director. Don't even. Did that just happen? Parked in a dangerous location. I think I saw his disconnect message, but that was probably his. Now we see the disqualification on the display below. See, the top 5 are out there for another few hot laps, onto the out laps at the moment. And here goes Leonard down into the first kind of hairpin, through the long left-hander, and there's Iker, and probably wondering why he's not allowed to drive anymore. Through the fast right-hander in down to 4th, accelerating up and then going through those two little left kings. From that. You have always to be a bit careful there on the exit. Those curbs are quite slippery there. You don't want to spin it there, as we can hear. And that doesn't even happen only on the entry of this combination, but also on the exit, and you can really spin it into the right-hand wall there of the of the long straight. And yeah. And there goes Black Panther. Oh, I think he was just spectating and inviting everyone. And Leonard goes into the pits again, so we can maybe take a look at some guys further up. For example, Nicholas, who had a really good qualifying last time round. And in the meantime, he's in third position, provisional third, and see what he can do in sector 2 if he is already a bit up on his own time, because there is still time left on track that he can improve on. And here we go. He's currently nearly 2/10 off, so it's still a pretty good time. Should improve. If RX doesn't improve, that will be P2. At the moment, it's not enough for P1. It's way not enough, but we'll still have a lot to come. It's only 2/3 of the track done. No, maybe it's 3/4, but 3/4. But no, should be giving his best. And let's see what he can bring across the line here. And it's a 1:29.1, and he gets pole by just a few hundredths of a second. And he really nailed that third sector, I think. It was really way faster than anybody else there. Because Sheratal was still in the pits. I think he just returned because he screwed up his lap, probably. Yari just set the lap, I think. Arx is still out there, just coming back around, setting the new one. And it's gonna be a 1:29.3. I think it's up one place. Is that correct? I think so. And Oxygen also already completed his lap. We've got here Dave Gaming on the exit out of the long right hand before the straight. Not using all of the curbs, so I don't know if that's going to be a really quick time. But here we go. Down into the hairpin. Finding the right point to accelerate again here and going back at the line. A little break here and there we go. Around the turn and across the line. It's a 1:30.03. So a good improvement on his time. There's still a bit more to still gain, but for this one it's enough. We still, I think everyone is still probably enough time left to do another qualifying run. And then we're basically good to go for that one. And yeah. Let's see who's still out there setting times. Maybe Leonard trying it for a medium with a medium tire. Let's see through the fast turns of the middle sector. See if he can. No, he hasn't set a time yet, so there's no sector time to improve on. The split is 51.234. Hopefully gets a nice exit out of here. And fully use the curve. I think he could have accelerated a bit earlier, at least from the sound. Of course, it's very slippery there. If you really catch it too early, well, you could just spin your car around. The problem is, of course, if you catch it too late, you're slower than everyone else, and you're really losing time out on the straight there. So I think he could have went a bit earlier for the accelerator, and that's why it's just a 1:30.9. But that's oh no, Black Panther's racing. I'm always if Black Panther's racing, I'm searching for a Red Bull, but he's in a racing point today, and yeah, probably out for his last try because there there will be not enough time to do another one. And here's Hedges for his hot lap attempt. He's already on it. Also got Crew 6 on the attempt at the moment. Prakavats, who's I think behind Hedges actually, because Nicholas is in the pits. Exactly. Got 2 quick times coming up. One from Hedges and one from, oh no, Hedges is heading into the pits, so he's quickly switching to, oh no, he's also heading into the pits. So both have bottled their lap probably. I don't think that there's enough time to go for another run, because the crew will take too long to pull the cars into the pits again. And you'll take too long to get out of the pit a bit. Well, I'll let me surprise me. And let's see, we've got Oxygen here on a hot lap, just started through the snake section. I think that's one of the first times we really saw it. Got the 2 racing points following him for their final hot lap attempt. Oxygen 82 thousandths off. Let's see what he can do in the rest of the sectors. This is basically just a medium speed sector out here. Going through some medium speed corners. The first one is basically really low speed. You've just got this, well, the start and finish straight and this little straight between the hairpin. Well, that's not even completely sector 1. So sector 1 is basically just the snake section, and that's it. Yeah, sector 2 are those fast corners, and sector 3 is basically just the straight. And here goes Oxygen. I wasn't looking at the sector times, so I'm not sure what he's gonna catch there. Going around the second to last bend now, heading into the last corner. Let's see what he can do. We can pull out. We've still got Nicholas on pole position, provisional pole position, and he gets 2 tenths off and is now in 5th place. I think he's, oh no, I don't think he gained places. He was in 5th already, and we've got other as well. Sharatalov, of course, setting or trying to set another quickest lap. It's pretty close to being invalidated here. And he is on a quick lap. He's nearly 2 tenths off, and if he can keep it around here, he will be quicker than Nicholas. But was it enough of finexes out of the last turn to be fast enough for the new quickest lap of the qualifying session? Now we've got still people like George Alberola and Hedges, who just crossed the line. And there goes Trevitalov, invalidated his lap, and was quicker than Nicholas, but that was invalidated, as I just see on the screen there. We see Alberola, and Alberola setting himself in 13th. Hedges is still out on a lap. I think a lot of the guys weren't really aware that the qualifying is already that far in progress, and is already over indeed. So that's why, for example, Crew 6 couldn't set a lap, Dylan couldn't set a lap, because as they cross now the start and finish line, they'll be finishing, in theory at least. No, they'll be actually allowed to start another lap, even though the qualifying is over. I'm not sure what that kind of sorcery is, but that wasn't the case every time. As long as I know, that's not how it works. If you do not get across the start and finish line in time, you're not allowed to go for another lap. This time is up since already 90 seconds. Here goes Hedges for his time, placing himself into 6th behind his teammate Oxygen. They'll be starting on the 3rd row of the grid. We've got Prakovats also out there already invalidated like Iron Ruse and another hot lap, Gelderwand on another hot lap. Let's watch Crew 6 coming around into the last sector with no time set yet. We have no delta to some previous times. Or oh, and Jari just came across. Oh no, it was. Huh? I didn't notice that. Jari set the only so far the only 128 time, the 128.989. Prakovats retired. Crew 6 is now on the chase for quick collab. Arok setting himself a bit further up there now. There goes Crew 6. Stays in 17th, I think. Was his lap invalidated in the end? No, 9th. I wasn't. Oh. Was shown as last still, I think. But no, there we go. Jari just snatching pole in the last minute, last second there, and Nicholas in second, just 24 thousandths off his time. So just in the 129s. Then we've got Aurochs and Chevitalov in row number 2. Oxygen and Hedges, as I said, the Mercedes in row 3. Then we've got Prakovats in 7th and Dave in 8th. Crew 6 in 9th and Jan in 10th. And the two Racing Points, Leonard and Black Panther in 11th and 12th. Gelderwand in 13th, Dylan in 14th, and well, the rest we'll see in the formation lap. And there we are back at the game, back here at the start of the formation lap with Jari leading the way into the Japanese, which we had the Japanese GP, into the Chinese GP, and yeah, we've stopped with Dylan, I think. Dylan Dyslexic, the two Ferraris in 14th and 15th, Adam Ruth in 16th, George Algarola in 17th, and Iker Bina in 18th position, starting from complete. Oh, we had a spin there already from Gelderwand after the snake section. Also pretty messy corner there. Can get much wrong there, but it's really fun if you get it exactly right. And yeah, the leaders are just about to approach the last real straight. Basically really good for warming up tires, but yeah, the AI will take over on the after the hairpin, and then they'll be reforming the grip. Here we can see a few predicted pit stop strategies for the leader: soft to hard or soft to a double medium. Of course, you can. I mean, soft to hard will be obviously probably the safer strategy. And of course the one stop, not the two stop, but a soft medium medium, or more likely I think a soft medium soft would be better, especially around those fast corners in the middle sector. You'll lose out with the hard tires to any other tire, and yeah, it's I think a lot about grip here in China, and with the hard tire, it's just very hard to keep up, and especially with that long right-hander before the long straight. Well, the hard tire will just be way slower, and you will lose lots amount of times here, because you just can't get the exit right. But we're lining up for the Chinese GP. Last car is hopefully getting into place. It's Geb 1 who just sneaks past there. There we go, the lights are on. It's 3, 4, and 5 lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. And the drivers, of course, get the light a bit later than we do, but there they are. Cars getting alive. We see the strategy over again, and at the front there's not much happening. There are 4 Aerox who's already trying on to that Dren. Oh no, it's Shevchelov who's already trying onto that Repulse RX, and Hedges is also already taking a look there for an overtake possibility, but Shevchelov already fought one place up there. We've got a bit of an incident back there with Prokovat, who's stuck in the wall at the moment, I think. Well, at the moment in front it's kind of balanced. We see Mercedes there side by side, Oxygen next to Hedges. Those two are really fighting it out, and Dave behind there also already gained a position. Is also looking to take advantage of the battle between those two. We see again the predicted pit stop strategy. It's a nothing now game. We know what they're going to do. And there goes Jan Akinci, I think. Or at least tries to go past Crew 6, not yet passed. And he got the outside line, so maybe not the optimum line for the straight, but probably he got a bit of slipstream. And we see RX and Cheritalov battling here in front. RX having a slight advantage at the moment, a bit ahead, and of course the inside line, so there he goes. There he makes it. Makes a move stick. Dave makes the first overtake onto one of the Mercedes. And I think somebody else, I think Dylan did an overtake as well. And there come the first really split times into somewhere at lap 2. We've got already first pit stops from Leonard and Prokovat. Of course, Prokovat was in the wall, so that's probably the reason. But I'm not sure what happened to Leonard. But for now, we can switch to not stops, but tires. The position change anymore. The Gab 1 is pretty close to his team colleague Jan Akinci, and we've still got this battle here going on. Dave, of course, wants to get past Oxygen there because I think Oxygen is a bit slower, or is he? It's not yet decided who's really the faster one out of those guys here. And well, we've got a lot of hard start. If we just, I didn't even think of that at the start, of course. We've got a lot of very mixed strategies. So we've got, of course, most of the top 10. I think not every one of the top 10 was a soft starter, but most of them. And there have been some medium starters, and the rest of them, I think, six hard starters, 4 medium starters. And yes, they're very different strategies here. The hard starters, of course, losing out at the moment because they're just having the tire to overtake and stuff. But they maybe have the chance in the end with the fresh soft tire to gain the places back they lost at the beginning with the hards, because then the other ones will be having the hard tires. And Jari already built up a gap of 1 second to Nicholas there, so looking to be the top guy at the moment. Crew 6 are already with a penalty, and not much happening at the moment. Not really much overtakes on the way, but it's still pretty close to each other. We can see really groups form. For example, Oxygen is also dropping back really from Shevchelov, and we are in lap 3, and that means that's the first time we're going around the last few bends, the turn number 13, I think it is. Yep, for the straight, and the drivers are going to have DRS to maybe pull out that overtake. And there we go, we see Dave getting alongside the Mercedes of Oxygen, and beautifully done before the hairpin. But now misjudges braking point. Oxygen also has a moment, and that's what Dave Game uses. That was really close, but both making a mistake, and therefore Dave can still claim his place. But he has to be careful the next here already, because of course you get DRS onto the start and finish straight, and then later on he's got to be careful too as they get around again to the long straight there. We can already see those leaders are really pulling away from, now it's Dave who's the leader of this group, because well, Shevertalov, oh, a massive spin of headers there out of the the little hairpin kind of. But let's get back up, let's look at Aerox, because those guys are now preparing for the straight again, and he has a real chance for an overtake onto Nicholas here, and maybe he can make it stick, because he definitely got DRS. He for sure got some slipstream going on. He already seems to be a bit faster, yeah. And now with the DRS enabled, he should be easily able to do that overtake down the straight there. And then we see them coming. Maybe not really gets a chance at Jari, but hell are they close. They are really tight together, and you can see that just by, well, Nicholas and Arox basically have the same distance, and both to Jari, and Jari's now really under a lot of pressure, because after he built up that 1 second gap in the first 2 laps, well, he lost them, all of them, and Nicholas is right at his back, trying to make the next move stick. That gives him a possibility. But for now, they're in the middle sector where overtaking isn't that easy. You just have to stick it here around the corners and don't make any mistakes, because if you do, you'll be overtaken for sure. No mistakes are allowed at that kind of level, and well, that's going to be for basically the whole race. I mean, we still should be staying at the front with Arox, because they're now getting on the last few bends again, and I mean, Arox did this job really good at the time before, and I think he really is good at that exit here. No, is he losing out? No, the time is changing that up and down again, but no, he had the better exit. He's already alongside before he even gets DRS. And I think he's already in front. Yeah, there he goes. Jari can try to brake alongside him, but that's way not enough. He has to let it by. He was in front, and therefore Arox goes into the net lead. Oh no, wait. No, he does. But Nicholas gets into net P2. But Sheretov doesn't want that to happen. Still alongside, fighting down into this next section, but Nicholas brakes way later, and that is to kind of Sheretov's advantage, because he is at the moment in front. Even through the inside of that turn, he can keep it in front, and well, he still is in front, but the question is how long, because Nicholas seems way faster, and Sheretalov just needs to make his way past Arox there, in theory at least. If it would be that easy, he will already be passed, but it is not, of course. We've even got now a little bit of a battle between the last 2 guys on the grid. Those are going for it into the snake section here, but looks like Hedge just got the way better line there, and they're coming around the bend. And now we can see maybe the revenge of Nicholas onto the straight. There goes Sheretalov defensive to the inside, but Nicholas has nearly no DRS anymore. His car is basically empty and completely out of DRS, and well, he's he could kept it in front, keep it in front, but just. Now we go for the first pit stop of those 28 laps. Let's see what's it gonna be. Is it a stop on the hard tire? Or are they going to attempt a two-stop strategy? What is it gonna be? For Shevchelov it's hard. For the AlphaTauri it's also hard, and that's Dave. What does Nicholas put on? He is also putting on a set of hards. Wait, there we go. Exactly. Mostly soft to hard now. Oryx is the only one staying out another lap on those hard tires. I'm not sure if that was the right choice because Dylan, who's on the mediums, is already closing into him. Or not. Well, that was... I don't know at the moment if that's just fluctuation or if he's really closing in. But yeah, it seems like he is. And the time just switches back up to what it was before that. That game makes me... And yeah, that's basically it for the moment. Nicholas and Shevchelov. Well, no, and Jari. Jari actually is in front of all of them. So Arax is still in the lead. But at the moment, Jari is in net P2 after this pit. So we've got a incident with Crucix or Dave. No, it's Crucix who hit the wall, I think. Probably, I think at least he had a spin or something. And we see now Arax is pitting, and now the question is where does Arax get out? We will just stay on board with Jari. He's now coming past the pit lane, and I think that was a mistake by Arax coming in that late, because Jari's now passed, and he's definitely passed. And oh, that was a bit tight. That was a bit squeezy. Arax is just ahead of Nicholas. And to be honest, I'm not sure how Jari managed that, because I mean he was fighting with those guys in front, but I think he was pitting one lap earlier, and that got him the advantage. That's why he's already over second in front of Arax. See if Arden Rees can pull all the overtake onto Gale 1T onto the big straight. There he goes alongside down the inside. No problem there. And gets it in front. Gale 1 still giving it a try around the inside if he can get back this position, but no, Arden Rees on the medium tires. They're still stronger than the hards. And here they go for lap number 9 at the Shanghai International circuit, and yeah, it's really going to be interesting what those medium guys are doing. If they're attempting to do medium soft, what I would probably expect will be harder, I think, than just doing a medium soft medium or soft, or well, either way, going onto 2 mediums. But of course the 2 softs should be, in theory at least, faster than the mediums are. The 2 times the mediums. So let's see what they'll do and how they'll perform. They're at the moment, of course, leading the boards. The only one who isn't at the top with the medium is Arden Rees. He just needs to get past Iker here, and then he basically got his job done for this stint. And but Iker isn't making it really easy for him, even though he has the better tires. But hopefully he can make it stick around at the next lap. around the next hairpin turn now. You've got a DRS turned on. Thing is, I think also, yeah, Inca got a lot more DRS going on there, and has of course a lot more opportunities then to just defend the guys behind. But yeah, we can now see, for example, here at the back, Yari was over 1.5 seconds ahead. There's now Yari right, RX right at his back. And oh, a few time penalties coming in for Hedges, and that's not good for RX because he is fighting for the race win, and this penalty could be a big problem for him at the end if he doesn't get this 3-second gap to the one behind him, and that's really hard to get if you're racing at that high level, to be those 3 seconds clear of the second place if he wants to win this one. Or of course Jari gets another 3-second time penalty, and yeah, then things I would say even. So far everything's kind of balanced out. We've got Nicholas who pulls past George Alberola, we can see it there in the back. Sharatalov still staying behind Alberola. I think he just wasn't able to get past, even though he kind of could have tried. But there he goes, already now. Just as I'm talking about it, is already past. Both have DRS now, Alberola and Sharatalov. At least that was what it looks like. But yeah, we'll see about that soon. And in a few laps time, we will be having the medium runners getting into the pit stops. And so far, what I am seeing, I think there might be on it. We've got an incident with an AlphaTauri, and that's Crew 6 into the S section. And so far we got Jan in the race lead. We've seen Jan. Oh no, let me switch away from you. Not everyone, please. Does everyone has this bug now? No, fortunately not. I guess Dylan, first one of the medium guys, he's probably trying for 2 medium tires. Oh no, he's going onto the hard. He's going onto the hard tire, not a one stop from medium to hard. Not sure what this is about. Well, let's see how he does. I don't think that was really good strategy. I don't know where he started, but it doesn't really seem like it should be working. At least what I think. But let's see. I think Jari is really hard to do the overtake onto RX again, because oh yeah, I remember RX did the overtake for the net rate lead basically. I missed that. But and Prokop's retired, and maybe we've got a safety car here. No, he retired in the pits. He retired in the pits, so we've got nothing to be afraid of. Nothing unforeseeable. Bit of a yellow as Prokop's car makes it back on track. Oh no. We've got a stopper there. Into the first turns he goes. At least the AI does it. Oh man. There go the other medium runners into the pits. Let's see what they decide for. also hard, and also hard. So no one so far chose the two-stop. No one did, and I think those medium to hard runners are way slower than the other ones will be, the soft to hard runners. Because that just definitely looks like a slower strategy to me. Dyslexic and oxygen are still not done better than me. What are they doing? Around the hairpin here, a little tap with the front wing, and there goes Dyslexic. Now he got a bit of a gap after this little touch. That's all it takes to get a bit of a gap, and now we've got pretty big gaps everywhere. Not much really going on in terms of overtakes, but also not in terms of strategy. It's basically everything done. The only thing that still needs to happen is that those 4 guys at the front have to pit. George has still to pit, and I think Leonard has to also, because he's on 10 lap old hearts, and I'm not sure if he can take that to the end. There goes Black Panther into the pits. There goes Adam Reese into the pits. Let's see what they're actually pitting on. We've got one of them onto the hard and another one onto the mediums. Black Panther is actually going onto the medium tire from the hard, I think. And he's probably trying to finish this race with those tires, because I think stopping again would just cost you immense amount of time. Because we're at the halfway point now, and yeah, that would just be unnecessary. So far, not much happening up front here. We've got and Hedges retires into the pits. Hopefully his car stays into the pit and doesn't drive out again as Prakash did. And you can see Jari trying again to get close to Aurochs, but Aurochs is, I think, just really good defending his position. Got a bit more ERS left, so maybe saving that helps him stay in front. Dyslexic gets past Dave. John Akinshi sets a new fastest lap with the hard tyres of 33.5. Pretty quick around here. We'll take a look back here at this. Oh no, it's just the snake section. So Dyslexic just made the overtake onto the long straight. And we'll be seeing maybe the same thing again, but the other way around this time. I also can see John, who's going pretty close to Alvarola. And we should maybe take a look at that first. But a bit of a moment there. Not really optimal from Alvarola, the exit there. And that's going to cost him. And that's going to cost him time and the position. Because John goes now side by side and should be already past now. And there he goes. Let's see if Dave can pull this. No! He's outside of the DRS window and it's actually 0 ERS. And Bruce just gets past Oxygen. And the last 2 guys go into the pits, so that's Eker onto the mediums and Gerber1 onto the mediums as well. And Aurochs is now returning from the net race lead to the on-track race lead. And here we can see Oxygen battling against Gelderwand, and Gelderwand is also trying to. And Leonard, no, who was it? Aden Ruiz. They're pretty close to Aden Ruiz, while those two still have to fight it out. Who can stay in front? Gelderwand or Oxygen on the track here. Gelderwand has the quicker tires, the medium ones, and at the moment they are still fighting, but I think Gelderwand now made it in front and can stick to that and stays there. Not much of a change there coming. And everyone else is now on the hard tire, so it's a pretty balanced fight. I mean, Alberola still needs to come into the pits and maybe can gain some places, but he is only in 6th, and well, he still needs to do a pit stop. So everyone is on better tires than him now, and that's not really going to pay off. It's really going to be worse for him. He only got those last 5-6 laps on the soft tire, where he can really go for everything. And yeah, that's it. Jari's keeping onto Aura, Nicholas is keeping it onto Shiritalov, but Jari doesn't actually need to overtake for the race win because Arx has this penalty. And yeah, that's all it takes to win basically. Now it's just keeping behind and basically not even doing the overtake. Gelderwand is going for it onto Dave, trying to go maybe side by side through those fast sections, but it'll be not enough, and that would be also really risky. So here they go around the turns 12 and 13 for the straight, and possibly there Gelderwand has his opportunity to manage the overtake and make the move stick. DRS wing open. Crew 6 getting a 3-second time penalty, and there he goes down the inside of Dave, braking alongside, got the inside line covered. Dave doesn't really try to get past back past, and that's the overtake done for him. Aden Ruiz is maybe now taking a look after Gelderwand. Dave has to be really careful now that he won't slot too far back. And that's basically the only battle we can really see. We've got Leonard, who's a bit close to Oxygen, but not too much. Oxygen is on the better tires, so I'm not sure if they're gonna be an overtake soon. Who's fighting? I mean, Aden Ruiz, as I said, is still pretty close to Dave. We've got maybe Iker coming up against Alberola. Well, they're already on the straight, so he's probably already doing the overtake. Is he? He should be alongside now, and he goes past probably. There you go. And Janakachi even moves past Nicholas, so yeah, I didn't catch that overtake. That would be interesting. But here is the view from Dave Gaming's rear wing. We've got Leonard going past Oxygen in the back there too. 2 overtakes in 1. Dave trying his best around the outside to stick to Aden Ruiz there, and he still can keep it. He kept it in front. He somehow still kept it in front of Aden Ruiz, but now Aden Ruiz is just coming past the inside, braking a bit later. Of course, hasn't That was close. It's just that they both got past. And they're still side by side, still fighting for the position into the hairpin. Dave and I need to go around the outside, the longer way. Of course, in theory, the faster one. But no, he can't. None of the ways is really fast, and no one is really quicker than the other. But Andrews at the inside line could cut Dave off, and therefore stays in front, gets the position as well as Leonard. And now Jan Akinci even fought past Chevertalov. He is really closing in onto the top 10. Top 10. He's in third, and to the top 2. At least that's what I guess from his pace at the moment. And we're getting close to lap number 20. There we go. Still 9 more to come. And well, here goes Ika with another fastest lap of the race. Not another for him, but I think the first one from him on the medium tire. Not much action left on track. I mean, we've still got Arox and Yari who are battling it out there up front. Crew 6 is in the right in front of them. They're making just their way past him. And I mean, the other guys behind you, Nicholas is still pretty close to Sheritalov. But Jan Akinci already made a little gap between him and the other two guys, and he's already decreasing. Oh, somebody in the lobby. We've already got decreasing timings, and he's already or looks a bit quicker. And then the two guys in front. Probably also just so Iker makes it past Dylan. Of course, he's now fresh tires and to go one past his legs. Oh no. I made screenshots, yeah. Wrong row of F keys. Cena here, dyslexic, just both Ferraris were overtaken at basically the same time. And yeah, probably they're trying to go for it again as soon as they close in. I mean, Iker hasn't that much of a gap to Nicholas, but Nicholas, I think he's a bit held off by Sheritalov now. He needs to find his way back past him. To be able to put in some better laps. To maybe close into Jan again and maybe get a chance on the podium, but so far that's not really gonna happen. And down number 13, let's see how his exit was. I mean, he's still in the DRS window, pretty close to Shibirtalov. Iker got close too. I don't know if he got the DRS, but it seems like yes. Nicholas closing in, Sheritalov going into the inside, going the defensive line. They're really pushing Nicholas there, but Nicholas got a good exit out of turn number 14 there and makes it past even before the last turn. Now Sheritalov of course has DRS and probably will try to regain this position. So Nicholas will go now the wide way around the outside. But we'll have the inside for the next turn. But he already makes it stick before turn number 2 is even there. And yeah, they're first and fourth, and maybe can fight a little bit further up now. I mean, Sheritalov has to be also careful now, because as we can see, Iker wants to make his way past there. Can he make it stick already? I mean, he got the better tire. He should make. With contact there, he should be quicker around, especially around those fast turns. And there he goes. around the right-hander. He just has more grip. He can go a bit faster through this turn than Shevchenko does, and definitely made it in front. Shevchenko are really dropping back the grid, and Iker's next goal kind of is Nicholas, the Alfa Romeo from Nicholas, and he is already really close. He's just 2/10 away, and he will get DRS for sure. Beautiful. Can you please? Thank you game. Or like this. We can watch it like this, and there goes Iker past Nicholas in front there, made it into 4th position, and that's what we want to see. Beautiful overtakes. Again, without much contact, and there they go, entering lap number 23. Still 6 to go, so there's still a lot of possibilities what can happen. And there goes Dave with the 3-second time penalty. And Arik still has the penalty, but Jari and John don't. Jari has now dropped out of the DRS window. That's not good for him, of course. But if he can make it stick in the 3-second window, he should be safe. Maybe we're going to take a look at the penalties. Exactly, we've got 3 seconds everywhere except for Crew 6. We've got 9 already. Not the base race from him today. Wasn't really his day. His performance wasn't on the top. But so far, we've got some nice overtakes. We've got some. Somebody's fighting up front there, or at least it seems like they are. No, it just seemed like it. There is actually. We're in this groove, which is actually 4 wide, not only 3 wide. Well, yeah, Ika is now out of the DRS window, but they're still basically racing all together there. And John is really on a hunt for Jari and Aurochs. He had 6 seconds, is now down to 4. I don't know if he can make it until the end of the race. Because he isn't closing in enough. And there goes Leonard past Black Panther into the first section, the snake section. Yeah. There comes the next opponent for Shevchenko. Dylan with fresh, with not fresh, but 5 lap fresher tires, and he will try his best to get past Shevchenko, but Shevchenko has to try his best in keeping it behind, because he will just drop down the order further if he cannot. Either he needs to increase a little bit of pace, but if he can't do that, he needs to drive more defensively and better block people off. But as you can see, Dylan just had an amazing amount of speed there, was way faster, and finally got past. Well, not finally, it was the first really attempt, and it worked immediately. Now Shevchenko of course got the DRS, maybe tries to get him back, but we've seen what happened to some tries like that before, and he didn't really get it done. And there you see it, Shevchenko again behind Dylan. The overtake try wasn't really working out, and therefore he goes back behind him. And actually, what happened at the front? What happened at the front? I was asleep. I feel like I slept for a few minutes there. When did Jari and Auroch switch? I think Auroch did a little spin there. Probably just taking a quick peek whether that's correct. no, Oryx just lagged back. Not sure what happened there. But we'll see. I hope, at least. Let's see if we can cruise success there in the middle of Jari. I'm not sure actually what happened there. But I guess we'll see in the end. I guess we'll see at the end, and so far we'll be just watching what will happen, because now Oryx isn't even in second anymore, or in first. He is now in net P3, because John is in the 3-second window, and Dave makes his way past Leonard again. No, not really. Let's see what those guys are doing back there. Leonard just keeps, Dave just keeps it in front, and Leonard has to wait for another try onto the straight maybe. And at front we can see that Oryx is trying his best to reclaim that first position, but it's not as easy as it sounds. As they cross the finish line, we've got 2 laps to go, and well, with his little lag or mistake, whatever it was, he has to find that back now, and John is really close to all 3 of them. I mean, Leonard now got the, Oryx just got past already into turn number 1. No, it isn't even such a stupid idea to sit on board with Crucix, who's just now riding behind Jari and Oryx. Jari and Aerox, not Oryx. And let's see what he will do. We've got a nice bug here again. Hopefully this will be fixed sometime soon. And Oryx retakes will lead us the race with that. And well, so far no further big changes coming up. Just some little overtakes maybe to come from, for example, Chevy Talbot and Gerber 1, who are really close, and Leonard and Oxygen. Both probably try. You can see Oxygen there nearly pushing Leonard around the turn. And we're going to quickly switch up here to Chevy Talbot and Gelb1, who are, that was close, that was really close. We can make it Gelb1 even stick around the inside to Chevy Talbot. That looks good, and that looks like he could have made it around the corner, but no, Chevy Talbot takes it. Now that is the last lap for the guys. We see Gelb1 tries again around the outside of the next turn, with an ODRS this time, and tries it though, stays alongside, and that's good. You have to stay alongside until here, where you can get the inside of the exit corner, and then you can just go in front, and everything's basically fine for you. But now Jan Akanji close into the top 2, and that means basically for Oryx now, he is in FP3. He will slot down even behind Jan for this Grand Prix, and well, that's basically his last really possibility to gain more time out of this race. He has to keep it in front. Oh, he's on 1% US. He's basically on a dead battery. There he goes. I think that wasn't the smartest move, probably. A dead battery is always a bit of a risk to run on. And here they come, Oryx, Jari and Jan. So across the finish line, and oh no, Jan just got another warning, so Oryx will be just in second, basically by luck, because of the warning there for Jan. And yeah, that's it for the rest of the grid too. Of course, some switching up between go 1 and dyslexia here, just 34,000 of a second difference in lap times, and last few guys racing it across the start and finish line there. Dave and Oxygen, of course, still to go there. Leonard and Krusix crossed the line already. Exactly, Leonard just needs to get across the line, and he's the one with 25 old hordes. So he is basically racing them from the beginning on. And yeah, that's it for the Chinese GP. We've got not Eric's second, who is the winner, somebody with J in his name. We go Iker in as the driver of the day. Yari, exactly, Yari wins the Chinese GP. Arax in second and Jan in third, just because he got this last second penalty. I think he was trying to do the overtake onto Yari, because if he did that, he would have been in P1 and he would have got past. But no, unfortunately not. That wasn't meant to be. But here are the final standings. Jari in front of Eriks and John. Now we've got Iker and Nicholas 4 and 5, Shiratalov and the Dyslexic in 6 and 7, Galwand and St. Dylan 8 and 9, Adam Rich in 10th, Black Panther in 11th, Dave in 12th, Oxygen in 13th, George in 14th, Leonard in 15th, Krusix in 16th, and Hedgedus and Prakovas didn't finish at the race. Take a quick peek at the incidents. We've got not that much this time. It's 1 5-second penalty. Probably for speeding a bit like now. I'm curious. Yeah, exactly. From Praka. And yeah, that's it for from the GP so far. We will be right back, and I hope I get some guys in for qualifying. Yeah, for sure we're going to qualify again. For some interviews, and yeah, I'll see you again after a quick break. So until then. There we are, back at it. But let's see if we can get somebody in for some interviews. I'm not no confirmation from the guys, from the drivers, if they want to go for interviews. So of course, we're just in the second split, so there are no, you don't have to go for the interview. I mean, in the F1 split, it's kind of normal to go for the interview, but in the second split, it's not really some people just don't want to do the overtake really through today. So just people don't want to go for an interview, and therefore I'm just asking them. Yeah, whether anyone wants to or not, and I hope somebody will answer my call and get into my booth here for some interviews. But that's how it is. And as soon as we got somebody, of course, get back to you and then see what's going to happen. Will we get inside the box? But if not yet, got some confirmation if we're doing for some interviews. Because no one is there, and at the moment no one's joining me. I think so far there's not really much people who are willing to join the interview. I think no one is really in the mood today for an interview. No one really likes the track enough to get in for an interview afterwards. So yeah, unfortunately we won't get to hear some of the drivers' perspectives. But as far as I know, we somewhere got a calendar right. And I'm not sure if we skip Brazil or if we're switching Brazil. So either we're going to Brazil next week. Oh, Jerry, you're in the chat. Oh, you could join if you're on the Discord. I hope you are. If you're in the Discord, I think it's enough if you just join Voice 2. So we then maybe we've even got an interview partner, and now just can you get into Voice 2 or do you not have the? I think you should be. Yeah, there you go. Hello.
Hello.
Ah, there we go. Finally, somebody to talk to.
Yeah, it was the first time I drove, so.
Yeah, no problem at all.
I don't have those split 2 things, I think.
Yeah, I think even they can't join me. We always got those problems with people who aren't able to join the caster booth, but that's no problem.
Oh, okay.
All right, so you fought the win by the penalty in the end, and yeah, how was your race? How were you feeling?
Yeah, I'm really happy the first time I drive in this league. So I think I signed my 3 months ago, but there comes something true. But yeah, happy with the result. The last I think the last 8 laps I took it very carefully because I had 2 warnings, so I don't want to risk that 3-second penalty. And yeah, happy with the quali also. I thought maybe it's better to start on the mediums because the softs are. I think I go around lap 5. I go pitting.
Yeah.
Don't know if you that.
Yeah.
Yeah. The I think the main strategy was to go 6, but I had really no pace because I think who was Aerox or something on 2nd place. He was faster than me, I think, on the softs. So I pitted, I think, 2 laps earlier, and after that I had on the last lap 77% wear on the hard. So it was really tricky to go through the start line.
Yeah, all right. So yeah, has been a beautiful race from you two. Do you know actually what happened there as Aurochs lagged a bit back behind you? You had the race delay for a lap or something.
Was that I think 10 laps ago? He was 1 second in front, and after that he drops 4 tenths behind me.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I don't know what happened, man. I think from round 10 laps to go, there was a stupid ghost, and I don't have real good vision because he's driving in my car, and so, yeah, in other leagues you have no ghosting that you know. You can move the other car.
Yeah,
have to drive sideways to go through, but ghosting was on. So it was really frustrated for me because I can't see anything, and Aerox was pulling away a little bit. And after he was a second loose of me, well, he went 4 tenths behind me. So I don't know what happened. I don't really know what happened, man.
Yeah.
But
me
after
neither.
all, I'm happy. I'm happy with this.
Yeah, I hope so. See then.
And I
Yep.
think that that Chan,
Yeah.
I don't know how he's called. He is also really quick. So from the beginning of the race, I thought maybe he can push forward because he had the medium compound. But yeah, I think when it would be 2 laps longer, he passed me. But after all, he gets a 3-second because his last warning. But I don't know if he does that because he couldn't win. But yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think John already won some GPs. He's a really quick driver, but yeah, maybe he was also just trying to get his last efforts out to overtake you, because then basically he would have won.
Yeah.
And
the last hairpin, he wants a little dive, I thought, because he's lucky he locked up on my back, but he was too far away. I think 3 tenths or something.
Yeah, and I think he just pushed it too much in the last corners, and that's why he got the penalty in the end.
Yeah, I think also. I think also when he had a really good exit, he couldn't make it in front of me, but it doesn't make sense after the race result.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, and yeah, that's it for today. Congrats to you, of course, for winning on your first Grand Prix.
Yeah. I had I don't know if you know SLR or something. I did 28.7 in quali. I'm not 2 tenths off, but it's a little bit of nervous something else, man. The first race you are also a little bit nervous, and I got 2 tenths, but I had also yeah, happy with that.
Cool. And yeah, then we're heading to Brazil next week, not to Bahrain. We just exchanged China for Brazil, basically. And
okay.
Yeah, exactly. And yeah, we'll see you again then. Hope you enjoyed the stream. and yeah, leave a like and a subscribe maybe to the ORL channel, and take a look at our Twitter for the news about the standings and the races, and maybe some community events. Then until next week, we see us in Brazil, and well, hopefully it will not rain, or maybe it will. See you then, ladies and gentlemen.